Greetings, Otaku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm here to bring you all yet again another Discussion of the Week video segment right here on Otaku Assemble Weekly. And as always, I'm here to bring you the latest in this week's Discussion of the Week video segment. And this week's discussion topic comes from John Marks TV, who asks, Discussion of the Week: how you got your start in gaming, your most memorable gaming experiences, and its importance in your life today. So, a discussion on my personal history with video games. Now, first question, how I got my start in gaming. When I was a kid, we grew up with a NES in my house. Me and my sisters, we used to always play it whenever we could get it working. And it was an old console. It was a hand-me-down console from a friend of the family. So, every now and then we would have to, pull out the old Q-tip and alcohol and run it in the system, run it through the tape, blow the cartridge and whatnot. But yeah, so that was my first gaming experience, was growing up with the NES, playing Super Mario Brothers, the original one. And that was also the cartridge that had Duck Hunt and the little track running game, but we didn't have the other attachables that you needed for both those, because like for Duck Hunt you needed the little rifle, and for the track game you needed the little mat. We didn't have those, so we just played Super Mario Brothers. So that's how I got started in gaming, just doing that casually, whenever I got a chance to. And after that, the first like game system, game console, whatnot that I actually had to myself was a Game Boy Color. In late grade school, wait, when did I get my Game Boy Color? 5th grade, Christmas of 2000, no, 99, yeah, Christmas of 99 was when I got my Game Boy Color. And of course I was playing Pokemon back then, because that was in the middle of the Pokemon boom. And so yeah, so that was like the first game that I had to myself. I had Game Boy Color, I had my Pokemon Crystal, played that to death. And I used to rent games back then too, because my parents didn't really buy me a lot of games when I was a kid. Yeah, we had the consoles, like we had the NES, I had a Game Boy, we had an N64 until we lost that. But we only had like 1 or 2 games, so I used to rent a lot of games. Like I rented a lot of Game Boy games, all the original Gen 1 Pokemon games, so like red, blue, yellow. I rented, I had a Spider-Man game I rented, an X-Men game I rented. I used to rent a lot from Blockbuster video games back then. I know a bunch of kids watching this video don't even remember what Blockbuster is, or that they even carry video games. But yeah, I used to rent a lot of games too. And so yeah, so pretty much after my Nintendo phase, if you will, the next console I had to myself was PlayStation 1 that I got in middle school. And that started my pretty much my love affair with the SmackDown series, because that was always like the big franchise that I was always playing growing up, was the SmackDown. Because between the PlayStation 1 and the PS2, I had SmackDown 2, Shut Your Mouth, Here Come the Pain, SmackDown vs. Raw, SmackDown vs. Raw 06. I owned all of those. Played all of them, because I played the first SmackDown and Just Bring It, which was SmackDown 3. Played 07, hated it. Played 08, hated it even more. I owned 09 for the PS3, and then I owned 2010 for the 360. So yeah, so I was playing those games for the greater part of a decade. Anywho, but yeah, so I think that's enough as far as like how I got my start in gaming. And most memorable gaming experiences, oh man, there were so many, dude. Like and pretty much most of my gaming experiences are all co-op experiences when I was playing with other people, because to me that was the most fun to be had gaming. Like I mean, yeah, when I play like Pokemon, or when I used to play season modes and SmackDown and stuff like that, when I played the Kingdom Hearts series, all that jazz, those were fun solo gaming experiences, but all my favorite gaming experiences were always co-op playing. So like anytime I used to play SmackDown with my friends, that was always fun. I remember some of my friends back like in middle school, dude, like when we used to stay up all night playing video games, man, and we were real wrestling junkies, dude. We had, let's see, SmackDowns 1 and 2, WrestleMania 2000, and No Mercy for the N64. We had WCW versus NWO. What was the what was that? WCW Nitro, I believe, was one of the games. We had ECW Hardcore Revolution for anybody who remember that game on PlayStation. What we had Attitude, we had Warzone, dude. We were hardcore wrestling junkies. We used to have all the wrestling video games amongst all of us, and man, we used to stay up every night, man, playing that till the fucking sun came up, dude. Oh man, first time I played Smash Brothers was with that group, dude, and oh man, that was so funny. We had so much fun playing Smash Brothers, dude. It was crazy. Like I remember back in high school when we used to play Madden in high school, dude. That was insane. We used to stay after school late and play Madden all the time. I remember back in middle school when we got a bunch of new computers one year, my 8th grade year, and I found a Super Nintendo emulator and I put it on all the computers. Man, we used to be playing all the games on that sucker, dude. I'm talking about the original Street Fighter games, the early Mortal Kombat games, all the old DBZ games from Japan that never made it stateside on Super Nintendo. The Yu Yu Hakusho game, the Dark Tournament game for Super Nintendo, before that PS2 version even came out, because it was just in Japan. We had, man, so many games, man. Other memorable gaming experiences. Let's see. I remember, oh man, when Left 4 Dead came out, woo, dude, every Saturday night, Xbox Live, dude, playing Left 4 Dead. That was so much fun. And then yeah, playing online with some of my friends on Xbox Live, playing that. Shit, I remember when Transformers War for Cybertron, the first one, not Fall of Cybertron, the first one, when that came out, and me and any of the otaku faithful who've been following this channel from Jump Street, y'all remember my former co-star Chris. We were the motherfucking kings of that game, man. When me and Chris used to hop on War for Cybertron, oh my god, dude. Like, I remember me, Chris, and our friend Matt, we played through both campaigns in 2 days. Like, one night we did the Autobot campaign, the next night we did the Decepticon campaign. Actually, no, it was reversed. We did Decepticon first, and then we did the Autobot campaign. And then, man, when we used to play the multiplayer, like, every weekend, oh, man. Oh, that was so much fun. And I remember that, too, because, like, Chris and Matt were just so, like, because they were pretty good at first-person shooters. You know, I wasn't a first-person shooter guy. I'm still not. And so, like, there was a huge learning curve that I had to learn because, like Chris and Matt were just so much better than I was. And so what happened was, you know, like, every time we would play, I was like, man, I suck. And I was like, nah, dude, you just gotta, get the hang of it and shit like that. So I remember one week that summer, the summer of 2010, which was the same summer we started OAW, what I used to do was, like, on the weekdays, I would play, like, for an hour or two just by myself. Play online or play offline so I could learn the controls. And I just kept practicing. And I just kept practicing. And, man, by the time we meet up on the weekend and play, that's when, like, man, I got so good at that game. And yeah, and it's just because my friends told me, it's like, dude, you just gotta practice. And the more I practice, the better I got to it. But don't get me started on Fall of Cybertron. That bullshit. I'm not even addressing that game. And oh man, and yeah, when I got into college, dude, oh, freshman semester, when it used to be me and a bunch of my friends that I had just made at school, dude, when we used to play NCAA and Madden, oh man, so much fun, so much fun. Great memories, great memories. And okay, and the final question, yeah, your most memorable gaming experiences and its importance in your life today. Well, like I said, I think for the most part, all of these gaming experiences I'm talking about, I mean, their importance was that, you know, these were great bonding experiences for like me and my friends. You know, I mean, you know, it's like some of my favorite, like, you know, moments with just me and my friends just hanging out were all a lot about video games. You know, it's like I remember me and one of my childhood friends, Dominic, who he lived 3 doors down from me. Like man, when we used to play, I remember we used to play Def Jam, Fight for New York a lot. And we tag teamed in it a lot. Like actually, after I beat the main story mode, when you have to do all the extra stuff where you pretty much have to like unlock everything, and you just do that through rigorous gameplay. Like Dominic was like, dude, you know what, man? If you want, I can hop on the sticks, dude. We could knock this shit out. And in one afternoon, we unlocked all the other fucking characters in that game, just sitting down having fun and shit, man. And like I said, a lot of my friends in college, man, you know, bonding over, you know, Madden and shit like that, dude. And it was crazy, man. So yeah, I think those experiences in gaming in general have just been like, you know, I met a lot of cool people. And it was just something that me and my friends used to do all the time. And in all honesty, I think that is something that's kind of disappeared from my life because I don't game as often as I used to, and just because of the way they make games nowadays, like there aren't many games where I'll hop online with some of my friends and we'll play and stuff like that. It's kind of a different monster nowadays, you know, and yeah, you know, that's something about gaming that I have missed, and it's one of the reasons why I don't game as often anymore. Because I think a lot of games nowadays aren't real. They aren't really co-op friendly, especially if you're talking about like on-site co-op, like when a bunch of your friends come over and you all just play right there. Like most of this shit's all online now, and a different discussion for a different time. But anywho, so yeah, so that's pretty much, you know, some of my, you know, history with gaming and whatnot. And I want to thank my man Johnny for the discussion. And guys, in the comments below, let me know your thoughts both on this discussion. Let me know some of your past gaming experiences. What got you into gaming? Hell, what are some of your favorite video games? What video games are you looking forward to coming out later this year or sometime in the future? But in addition to that, don't forget, leave your suggestions for next week's discussion topic and thumb up the one you want to see me discuss in the next video. And with that being said, this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, reminding you guys later this week, keep an eye out for my Game of Thrones and my Vikings episodes reviews. And until next time, peace.